With 2021 finally here, guys, we're going to be talking about the top 10 movies that I'm really looking forward to seeing in theaters, streaming, whatever the case may be. I'm hoping these movies come out in 2021. I want to watch them. I want to devour these movies. I'm excited for this year. There's a lot of good potential for big movies, a lot of 2020 movies moving over here. So really excited for my list. And let me know in the conversation down in the comments section what you guys are looking forward to. And let's have a good conversation down in the comments section as well. The conversation doesn't stop at the end of this video. We also have a podcast streaming on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, and Stitcher, hosted by Terry Plucknett, Todd Plucknett, Zach Saltz, and myself. I dropped some audio there too. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to that. The link's going to be in the show notes of this episode. Anyway, got to go with some honorable mentions for my most anticipated movies of 2021. I wrote a lot of stuff down. I'm only going to give you guys five honorable mentions right now. However, there's so many movies, and I know I left some stuff off my list. However, the first movie I'm going to say is Gucci, which is coming out later on in 2021. Fantastic, great big cast. Adam Driver's in it. A bunch of other people that I'm drawing a blank on, but Gucci is something I'm looking forward to. I think Lady Gaga's in that movie too. But yeah, looking forward to that one. I think Ridley Scott's attached to direct, which I'm not a big Ridley Scott fan. I know, shocking. But yeah, Gucci's one I'm looking forward to. So just because the cast looks phenomenal and the subject matter is kind of interesting too. So another honorable mention is Jackass 4. Hopefully this movie, I heard some behind the camera stuff was going on with that. But I'm kind of a fan of the old MTV show, like the other movies too. So I got to put this on my list. Another honorable mention is Spiral, which stars Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson shows up, and it's kind of in the Saw franchise. So I'm really interested. I was kind of really hoping to talk about one of the Saw movies last year. So I really wanted to see this. So we probably get at least a Saw 1 review before that one comes out. Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk, who's better known for Better Call Saul. Really excited, kind of the John Wick Taken style film. And I really like that trailer that came out a few weeks ago. I've got to see Nobody. And my last one is Halloween Kills. It got postponed full year from Halloween. Love the few years 2018 film. Great, retcon of the Halloween franchise. But Halloween Kills looks pretty cool, and I'm going to be first in line for that film. Number 10 on my list is Raya, the Last Dragon. This is a Disney animation film. Fantastic animation style. I really have been really impressed as of late for these Disney animated films. And with like Moana and Zootopia come to mind. And this one looks like it's going to be fantastic. A lot of cool things that are happening in here. Very amazing look, like Warrior there as well. And my goodness, the visuals that this film was able to pull off in that little trailer just got me so hyped. Didn't really know anything about it other than like a still image. And it immediately just skyrocketed up my list. I'm looking forward to taking my daughter to that because I think she's going to have a blast of that film. Really hoping that that's going to continue the trend of the upward trajectory. Wow, I said that wrong. Weird. Of Disney animation. And who knows? It could, hopefully, fingers crossed that it's really good. Number 9, coming in at number 9 is 9 Days. Now, this is technically a 2020 film, but it got postponed all the way to like June or something like that. Now, this one stars Winston Duke and Sassy Beats and a fantastic cast. I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about this movie. I'm a huge Winston Duke fan. I'm not going to, no shame about it. I'll watch anything this guy's in. Yeah, this is no different. I'm hearing great conversations about this movie and some of his best work. They're saying like best, give him a nomination for best actor, which I would be all for. But 9 Days, I probably won't be able to see this one so until 2021. So putting on my list as most anticipated. Number 8 is Malcolm and Marie, which is going to be on Netflix. I think this comes out in February. I guess technically it could be in that Oscar campaign this upcoming this for 2020 movies, and for this one it's a weird kind of gray area for the Oscar race, but counting as a 2021 movie. And this is Malcolm, like I said, Malcolm and Marie, starring John David Washington and Zendaya. Really, just that cast alone, the two people waiting on like reviews to post, sounds phenomenal. It's black and white, and again, the cast is, let alone, is great. You know, I really enjoy John David Washington, Black Klansman, as well as Tenet. I thought he was really good in both of those movies. Zendaya, I enjoy her in like Greatest Showman and Spider-Man, but I need to see Euphoria. But she's looks for everything I've seen from that show is phenomenal. I've seen clips. She's great, and looking forward to seeing this one as well. It's up on my list. I'm trying not to see any trailers for this one because I just want to go into completely blind. Number 7 is A Quiet Place 2. One of my favorite horror films from the last couple of years is A Quiet Place. Like the premise, John Krasinski is returning for this one and behind the chair. And yeah, Emily Blunt kicking butt and very quietly, though. Seeing Expanding the World gets me excited. I don't know necessarily needed a sequel, but I'm intrigued enough to put it on my list here. And I kind of just want to see more what they do and what's the next step for this little upcoming franchise. Who knows? Number 6 on my list is Last Night in Soho. Probably said the last word wrong, but this is an Edgar Wright film. I've been a huge fan of Edgar Wright from like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and Baby Driver, all fantastic movies. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I really haven't been too disappointed with any of his movies. I wasn't a huge fan of At World's End. However, I still can have a lot of fun with that movie. And this kind of looks like it's going to be like a kind of a horror type of film. And again, this is another one I don't really want to read the synopsis for. I just kind of want to go in blind. Sometimes I do that with directors, and I'm picking these Malcolm and Marie and Last Night at Soho to just completely go in blind with it, to be kind of swept away in that emotion and that experience. So definitely number 6 for me is going to be what Edgar Wright does. So exciting. Number 5 is Spider-Man 3, which is going to be like a Spider-Man Homecoming, the next MCU film. I was hesitant to put this movie on my list because I don't want to get anticipation too high. But that intrigues me of all this people they're bringing in, like Doctor Strange, possibly Willem Dafoe, Tobey Maguire might be back, Andrew Garfield's confirmed. You know, Jamie Foxx is coming back, Alfred Molina is coming back, a ton of people, Kristen Dunst. You know, so many people going to reprise their roles in this film. I don't think it's going to have huge screen time, but it's interesting to see them all come to reprise the role, bringing the Spider-Verse to the MCU / Sony. I kind of want to see Tom Hardy kind of appear maybe in the post-credit sequence or something, and then you would have to tie in Morbius at some point too, because that they clearly showed more in the Morbius trailer. Vulture, Michael Keaton's character, show up in that trailer, so somehow those all these Spider-Man and this Sony universe are all connected somehow. Yeah, it's kind of confusing, a lot of moving parts there. So Spider-Man kind of demanded me to put it in there. So number 5 is where I'm gonna put it. Now my top 4 are all from 2020 movies. No new releases in the top 4 here, but they're all ones that were battling it out for last year too. Number 4 for me is Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, I really like Ghostbusters. I'm not a big fan of the 2016 version, the all-female cast. It's not like I hated it because the story was horrible. I thought they did fine, but this one looks like it's going to be a hard not a reboot, but kind of tie into the original films, but down to earth, grounded in reality, kind of Stranger Things-esque type of stuff. So Ghostbusters Afterlife, I'm really excited and intrigued by this movie. Paul Rudd's in it, so I'm always on board when Paul Rudd's in anything. So I got Ghostbusters Afterlife. Number 4 for me. I wish I could put it up a little higher. But number 3 is Top Gun Maverick, another film that I was so excited for. That every trailer so far has been phenomenal. It got me super excited to see this movie. And Tom Cruise reprising his role as Maverick. I'm really intrigued by it. I think there's a lot of play that actually looks better than the original Top Gun, and I think Top Gun is kind of a pretty much like average movie. I think it's good. I don't necessarily have to rewatch too much. I did just find it on like 4K on Black Friday, so I'll have to go back and revisit it and maybe do like a follow-up review before this movie comes out. And yeah, I'm interested by Top Gun Maverick a lot. I just think it looks great. Number 2, really tough, the last 2 choices. Number 2 is going to be Dune, directed by Denis Villeneuve. I apologize if I said his name wrong, but his filmography has been really dang good. I haven't seen his first film, Incendies, quite yet. I definitely got to make that happen before Dune comes out. I haven't even seen the original Dune, but it's his director. He's in the director's chair. The cast is phenomenal. The trailer was fantastic. And then obviously everything happened. It was supposed to come out around Christmas time this last year. And then they got put back to HBO Max. And then HBO Max said, this movie might not be on HBO Max anymore. So a lot of confusion about what's going on with this movie. I just hope it comes out in 2021 because I want to watch it right now. Like I said, the director just got nominated for Best Director for Arrival, but his other films have been fantastic, like Prisoners, Enemies. It was a mind trip. Definitely got to rewatch that one. And he's been really dang good. Blade Runner 2049. Let's not forget that one. So of course, Dune I had to be there as well. I want to see that on the big screen for sure. And number one, this was number one for last year too. No Time to Die. James Bond, Daniel Craig's possible last outing as the hero, and Mr. Bond is back on the big screen. I got to go see every single James Bond movie on the big screen if I can, because that franchise is something that I grew up watching. I haven't seen all of them, mind you. However, when they're on those big marathons, I would watch them with my grandfather, and it was a lot of fun. I watched it with my great grandmother too, and it's James Bond, and Daniel Craig's kicking butt in it. The trailer looked amazing. Like it looks like it's gonna be the best outing that he's done. And I love Skyfall. Skyfall is like top 3 for me. How great it is. But No Time to Die looks even better than that. I'm really intrigued by this. I just really don't want to get disappointed, and I don't want them to, hopefully it's not a letdown. But as of right now, it's my most anticipated movie of 2021. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments section down below if you agreed with my list. Are there some movies that I mentioned that you are excited for? However, what are you really looking forward to? Let me know in the comments section down below, because that's your opinion is what I really care about. I want to know. Have a good conversation down in the comments section. Make sure you guys check out our podcast. Links are in the show notes of this episode. And make sure you also subscribe here on YouTube for more movie reviews, movie conversations particularly. I love having conversations. We're going to talk about some movies here. So anyway, until next time, I will see you later.